What is going on, everyone? We are back with our 2022 HellaDepraved Shocktober celebration. I am Depraved,
I'm Hellcat.
and together we are,
HellaDepraved.
and I can't breathe. So, number 41 on the list is ACDC's Night Prowler. We're going to try this. If you're not watching this, it is because it did not make it.
Right.
But
Copyright being what it is.
trying, damn it. There's no video, there's no live version, so we couldn't even listen to a live version.
Right.
There
is no video. Period.
There is no music video. Now I will say, if you are unaware of who or what this song is about,
is it about Richard Ramirez?
Yes.
Ah.
Which is ironic, because he was arrested with an ACDC hat on.
He was. He also wore it.
I don't think he was arrested with it on, but I know he had it.
He was known for having it. Yeah.
Anyways, so they wrote a song, I'm guessing, about him.
Okay, and they only changed one word with another adjective. Interesting. Went from Night Stalker to Night Prowler.
Right.
That was very creative, ACDC. Very creative. No one would ever guess.
Right.
Anyway, so this is on the list of the 50 most evil
Well, actually,
songs.
I don't know. Actually, I don't think this is a song about him.
Just a song having to do with the whole thing?
I don't know. We'll have to listen.
Okay.
Anyways, super excited for this, though, because it's ACDC. They actually are really good.
So most of the songs on the list that we've covered so far, we haven't considered evil.
Right.
So we'll see. We'll see.
All right. So we're gonna react to this if you guys have already seen it or heard it. I don't think I've heard this. I've heard a lot of ACDC.
I'll have to.
I don't think this is one of them.
I'm pretty sure I've heard it.
But we're gonna react to this if you guys have already heard it. If not, click the link in the description below. Hop on over to All Things Coming Back, which is an excellent commentary, reaction, breakdown, comedy channel. And what that means is we will pause for any and or all of the above and stop the selection and break it down. This is ACDC.
Night Prowler.
Night Prowler.
All right.
Let's get it. Wail away on that guitar!
I love that they went blues for that.
So do I.
Fucking fantastic.
It also kind of feels like they took a little bit from Bad to the Bone. Dun, 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 dun,
you know, I don't know. I just feel like AC/DC's music, there's a lot of similarity within it.
Right.
Not everything feels or sounds the same, but they knew what they were doing in terms of their sound.
Right.
But I love that they went just almost straight up blues for the beginning of that.
Right. I like this. And here's the thing. I do not think this was written about Richard Ramirez.
It just somehow became tied to.
I think Richard Ramirez
tried to emulate
this.
Yeah. Now, I don't know which came first.
The chicken or the egg?
This album or
well, so this song came out in 1979. Richard Ramirez was doing his stuff in 1985.
Right. Okay. All right.
So.
Now, we definitely know he was an AC/DC fan.
Yes.
But I also know that he looked for symbols in everything. So my guess is Highway to Hell, the symbology on the cover even, would have garnered his attention for sure.
Right.
Fantastic. I mean, even without that cloud over it, it is a perfectly autumnal song. Just
Um,
the full moon in the dark, walking across a park, you know?
right. And the way lyrically he's painting the picture
Right.
is so ominous. It's almost like watching an old 70s, 80s horror movie.
No, don't go down there. Don't go down there.
And you want to be like, no, stop. Don't go in the alley.
What idiot is walking down an alley at midnight?
One of the things I wanted to point out specifically that I loved is he goes, and someone walks across your grave, or he says, and a chill runs down your spine, and someone walks across your grave, which is an old wives' tale.
Yeah.
That whenever you get a cold chill, somebody has walked across your grave.
So he just did it kind of back-assward, but yeah, it is nice. I mean, there's other stuff in there, like you hear the wolves bark in the distance. I mean, he said dog, but there's other ominous portents of doom that he's using in this. But, you know, almost no attacks come with a warning.
True.
I'm just saying, like, even betrayal, it is a knife in your back, but that's why we call it somebody stabbing us in the back, you know?
Right.
I'm your boogeyman.
Boogie boogie. Stalk much?
Right. Creeper.
I really like this song.
Me too. Are you supposed to get a kick out of things that are considered evil?
No, we're considered edgy when we do this.
I don't think this is evil, though. I mean, like...
Oh, no, it definitely is.
Evil?
Oh, maybe not evil.
I mean, like, yeah,
Again,
he's fucking creepy.
One of the things I am disliking about this list, and I know when we go to read
Evil
the description,
is so subjective.
it's going to say something along the lines of, this song inspired evil events. But that doesn't make the song evil, it just makes the people that interpret these songs dumb.
And can be evil.
Right.
Right.
Like they tried to do the whole Helter Skelter with the Beatles as an evil song because of...
But the Beatles didn't intend it that way.
Right.
Yeah. Now, is he Acdc singing about somebody that's evil? Potentially. He's singing about a Night Stalker. And the dude is a stalker. He says Prowler, but, you know, get out of my way. He's watching. You know, that's creepy. That's creepy, dude.
Right.
And to stalk someone, you're not quite in the right state of mind. I won't say you're out of your mind, because you're not necessarily crazy or insane, or you're obsessed.
Right.
And that's not the right state of mind to be in, but you don't have to be mentally ill to do so. Right. So you can be evil, sure. Because when you covet something to the point of obsession, you're kind of a goner, morality-wise. But yeah.
True. I can see how he interpreted it.
Yeah, now I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that if somebody is already getting to creepy crawlies enough that you're afraid to turn the light off and shit like that, you're not sleeping naked.
True.
I mean, that's wishful interpretation on his part.
Right.
Also, not many people go to the tomb naked. I mean, they may end up naked if, you know, the garments disintegrate and so on and so forth. But, again, wishful interpretation on his part. But he certainly has crossed that line, has he not? He's slipping into their room.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's boogeyman territory right there. Right there. Unfortunately, I won't even go so far as to blame the boogeyman, because most of the evil, quote unquote, is people.
Right. Very, very true. Very, very true.
I like how slow they're taking it. That they're not speeding it up because he's a prowler. You
Right.
know, it should be slower paced. And while you kind of want them to give in and speed it up a little bit, that blues is just, nice and sedate pace. It's just creeping after you. It almost adds more to the spooky vibe. Yeah.
Shazma. Nanu, nanu.
Nanu Nanu. Did you ever watch Mork and Mindy?
Yes.
Me too.
No. That was actually my first experience with Robin Williams.
Me too. Yeah. I watched that way before Aladdin came out.
And that last little Shazbot Nanu Nanu is a line that is in reference to the TV show Mork and Mindy. Basically translates to shit goodbye.
That's about right. Yeah. There's nothing you can do. Shit. Goodbye. Anyway, I really like that song. Now, I don't think the song itself is evil. Like, is it about somebody with evil intentions? Yes.
So, according to Genius, the song is about a guy who is slipping into a girl's bedroom to get her, possibly a stalker with a crush, even if Richard Ramirez took a wrong interpretation of it.
I mean, he did say he's going to make a mess of you at the end there.
True. And again, I could see how Richard would interpret the song that way.
Well, he also talks about the knife in your back. So
Right.
it's not that far-fetched. Now, stalkers have always been around, so obviously Acdc would be familiar with the concept. But again, art interprets life differently. So singing about somebody who has evil intentions does not necessarily make the song evil. And Richard Ramirez was just a very, very troubled person who I would actually consider evil. If I had to pinpoint a definition of what I consider evil.
Right.
Part of that being complete lack of a conscience in terms of the hurt and violence and everything, and complete lack of remorse. So.
Right. All right. So, I'm going to read you guys Kerrang's reasoning for putting it on here. This is a kind of long one. It's going to kind of give a little bit of history with Richard Ramirez and everything.
Right.
So, bear with me. On the evening of March 17th, 1985, 25-year-old Texan drifter Richard Ramirez broke into the California homes of Saileen Yu and Dale Okazaki and murdered both women. Dale's roommate, Maria Hernandez, was also shot in the face by Ramirez but survived and provided police with a pin portrait of a young man wearing an Acdc baseball cap. It would be a further 5 months, however, before Ramirez, dubbed the Night Stalker, was apprehended, bringing to an end a 14-month reign of terror in the Golden State, during which a total of 13 people were murdered, 11 more sexually assaulted in their own homes.
And that's not even as many victims as he had.
Right. Ramirez's childhood friend Ray Garcia subsequently told the authorities that the killer was obsessed by AC/DC, and specifically the creepy, chilling, voyeuristic closing track on the band's 1979 Highway to Hell album, Night Prowler, leading to sensationalist media headlining such as AC/DC Music Made Me Kill at 16. Night Stalker admits. The Australian band were understandably horrified at the implication, with vocalist Brian Johnson, who joined the band after the song's recording, telling VH1 Television, "It sickens you to have anything to do with that kind of thing." In the same Behind the Music special, AC/DC guitarist Malcolm Young claimed that Night Prowler is actually about things you used to do when you were a kid, like sneaking into a girlfriend's bedroom when her parents were asleep. But lyrics such as "no one's gonna warn you" and "no one's gonna yell attack" and "you don't feel the steel till it's hanging out your back" rather undermined the idea that this was merely a paean to adolescent horniness. In court, Ramirez played up to his monstrous image, greeting the courtroom with the words "Hail Satan" and telling the judge, "I am beyond good and evil. I will be avenged. Lucifer dwells in us all." After a 4-year trial, Ramirez received 19 death sentences for his crimes, a punishment he shrugged off with the words, "Big deal, I'll see you in Disneyland." AC/DC naturally distanced themselves completely from the serial killer, but shaking off the association with what is undoubtedly their darkest, nastiest song would prove impossible.
Oh, good. So Kerrang just decides to lump him back on in with Richard Ramirez and put him on the 50 most evil songs. That's great. That's hot. I mean, like, not something that you can easily undo for sure. But on the other hand, kind of a shit move. Now, I can see how they incorporated sneaking into your girlfriend's room at 16, like the horniness level, the feeling of, danger, so on and so forth, the all-encompassing sort of hunger in terms of horniness. But Kerrang is not wrong in saying that there are lyrics there that have nothing to do with that, or should have nothing to do with that. Unless your base desires are way more violent than the average Joe. Again, stalking wouldn't have been something that they were unaware of. And AC/DC does like to push that line, so it doesn't surprise me that it turned a little darker.
Right.
And Richard Ramirez was his own level of fucked up. I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't his uncle, who was a Vietnam vet who should have been a war criminal based on the shit he did, and then also murdered his aunt in front of Richard. Introduced him because AC/DC was one of those bands that the vets liked.
Right.
You know? So, anyway, I'm sad for AC/DC that they got lumped into that. Because honestly, if you look at them separately, while this is definitely a creepy song that makes it to our Shocktober playlist and is evil because of the speak of someone with evil intentions in it. So I can see why it would make the list without Richard.
I will tell you now, this has more right to make this list than probably any of the other songs we've done so far.
Right. So, but yeah, that's why I was saying, even separated from Richard, it has enough to do with someone with evil intent that I can see why it makes the list.
And also, to be fair, it's not like it's high on the list.
No, but I feel
41.
Sorry that a song that really, like, the instrumental and everything they're inspired. That was fantastic. Like, guitar playing, just the whole 9 yards. The lyrics were poetically written. Like, he does paint a dark, sort of grim picture for you.
Right.
It's an incredibly well done song, so it's sad to take away from it with that sort of association. You know?
Agreed. All right. So.
However, I think this makes both lists, our Shocktober playlist, and it does belong on Kerrang's list.
Yes, I agree. Now, this was number 41. We are going to be skipping both numbers 40 and 39. 40 is Hellhammer's Triumph of Death.
Okay.
And 39 is Dissection Night's Blood.
Okay.
Both of them sound like...
Goblin growls.
Just shit I can't stand.
Okay.
The next one we will be covering will be Behemoth, Christians to the Lions.
Have
you heard that one?
No, but that was definitely an evil time in history.
This is one of the ones that I said just had a lot of weird... It was just very... Weird.
Okay.
I didn't hear the whole song. Just bits and pieces here
Enough
and there.
to know that you weren't going to have your ears bleeding by the time we were done. Yeah, okay.
It's weird. Super excited, though. So, with that being said, if you guys like the video, slash that like button, subscribe, but ring the bell for notifications. Comment down below. What did you think of AC/DC with Highway to Hell?
No.
Highway to Hell. Jesus Christ.
That's the
Night Prowler.
name.
That's the album name. It's just what I happen to read.
Right.
Night Prowler.
Yellow.
Also, comment down below if there's anything else you guys want to see reacted to. Check the description below for all things.
Push our buttons. Come join us on our other social media platforms, mostly Twitter if you want a quicker response.
We love you guys. Thank you all for watching. Cannot wait to see you depraved people later.